Kids today get a gold star for not waking up dead.
It's International Pronouns Day. Yippee, hooray! I bet you didn't know. Probably because you have things to do. You know, live in reality, pay bills, be responsible. Guess what? There's new pronouns. I know, you're excited. Wait, demon pronouns are the new thing for kids on TikTok. Demon pronouns. You know, call me crazy, but I would think if you're gonna have demon pronouns, you should look like a demon. This is how lazy the kids today are. You could have bought some resin clay, 2-part epoxy, and made horns and glued them to your head. God, these kids today are lazy.
So Liana uses they, them pronouns and demon pronouns. So the first sentence would be, Liana is my partner, they are cute, and I am theirs. I love them very much, and I hope they love themselves too.
God, this makes no sense. Where are these kids' parents? Where are the parents? How come the father or mother hasn't come in there and said, what the hell are you kids doing? Oh, you're listening to David Bowie albums, the Thin White Duke, little baby? No, Mom, we don't care about David Bowie. We're deemed dem pronouns now. I have more respect for puppy and kitten self. At least it's slightly cute.
For the demon pronouns, it would be, Liana is my partner, Deem is cute, and I belong to Deem. I love Demon very much, and I hope Deem loves Demonself too.
The demon pronouns, come on. Good Lord, this one sucks. Why are all these pronouns being created? Can someone explain that to me? That's what we need. We need a TikTok video of someone explaining why the pronouns getting dumber and dumber. God, I couldn't be a father today. This woman is somehow upset about pronouns.
No, unacceptable. No, somebody's going to get an email.
I forgot that this person isn't female. Forgive me. You know, centuries of only being 2 genders, and now in the course of 1 year, I have to figure out a multitude of different pronouns. And I'm the one whose feelings need to be catered to. Last I checked, I don't give a what you call me. You're the one who seems to have a special list of names.
I am so tired of catering to cis people's feelings. Because I do. I do it every time I go to a restaurant and the server says, "Hi, ladies," and I don't correct them.
So, a restaurant person who doesn't know you, just doing their job, trying to get by. Meanwhile, the government's implementing a stupid rule so that they could check your bank account. If you get $600 unaccounted for, they can audit you. And you think this poor worker needs to figure out what your pronouns are. Could you imagine that? You're already working, taking people's crap, bringing them food, and then you gotta sit there and go, may I ask for your pronouns?
Every time I choose the women's washroom because people expect that of me and it makes them comfortable.
I don't give a what washroom she walks in. If right now it seems like the person who needs to be catered to is this human being here. So far, they have listed a bunch of crap I don't give a rat's ass about.
Every time I go to the grocery store and ignore being called miss or ma'am. Every time...
Oh, you stupid cisgendered people. Showing basic human decency. How could you be so bigoted?
And I'm not okay, because in order for any of you to even entertain the idea of respecting my existence, I have to water down all of my emotions lest I live up to the whiny crybabies trans stereotype that you all have in your heads. Because God forbid you take someone seriously when they are showing valid emotion.
I'm sorry, this is kind of pointless. Oh no, person who doesn't know me misgendered me. I don't know, maybe look like a dude then. Unless like you're not supposed to be a guy, then look like a f***ing cat. I don't know. You know, remember that dude who wanted to be a cat or a tiger and he went through all those surgeries to become a tiger? God bless him. If he was like, oh, address me as a tiger, I go, sure, tiger man. You know, he had the balls to not just dream it, be it. Meanwhile, this person, looking like Rosie O'Donnell, and I'm supposed to figure out your gender by looking at you. So now you need to be psychic.
A close friend misgenders me, and my immediate response is to say, no, it's okay, as long as you're trying. It's not okay.
So your friend misgenders you. I have a feeling you didn't start identifying as... Didn't even tell us about the gender. The whole video went through. I don't know what this person's gender is supposed to be. Do you see how hard it is to live with them? And it was only 30 seconds. It's like they're misgendering me. Doesn't tell you what their fucking gender is. Everybody else is the idiot, though. Oh, these cis people, they oppress me. Dude, most people call me Gundam. There's no gender tied to that. It's a robot. I've literally been called a robot for years. Hasn't fazed me one bit. It's Robot Man. Here to upset people. I've had people say that I'm the modern day Al Bundy. On one level, it's a compliment. On the other hand, Al Bundy's life was garbage. But then again, he did have that hot redhead wife. I wouldn't mind that one bit. Delicious. As always with the pronouns and gender movement, they always have to add kids into the mix because that's the insanity of Western society.
Can't trust a child to know themselves and their body. Therefore, I propose that all children be put on puberty blockers before they hit puberty. If they're not.
How do you know you're retarded? If you're advocating that children should be on puberty blockers. Why? They're children. This whole, pronoun movement is kind of getting out of hand because some of these people actually think it's a good idea. Here's a crazy one. Leave kids alone. Let kids be kids. No politics for children. No gender talk for children. Just let them live their little lives, play with their toys, and enjoy themselves. They're going to be old enough to realize how garbage the world is soon enough. For the love of God, let them enjoy the time they have, you sick people.
Trans, cool. They can get off puberty blockers and continue puberty as they were. And if they are trans, then you just save them a lot of emotional pain from the secondary sex characteristics they have.
Little boy on who was being bullied ruthlessly at school. They kept referring to him as transgendered. The parents were thrilled. After all, a transsexual is so much more chic than a plain old sissy. The host asked the boy who he was inside. The little cherub shook his curly blonde locks, pursed his little lips together and said, "Whoever I want to be." I almost threw up in my ass. That little boy wasn't a girl. He just had too much self-esteem. It's so easy to confuse the two nowadays. When I was growing up, self-esteem was something you achieved in spite of your childhood. Not because of it.
You know what I don't understand about this whole gender movement and trying to get kids on hormone therapy and stuff? Why is it rational to these people to go, oh, the kids can choose their own gender and we'll put them on special drugs to help them on their transition? That's fine. But we're not cool with kids smoking. And they're the smoking will stunt your growth. Here, take these pills that stunt your growth. Does anybody else notice the lunacy of it? On top of that, what if you change your mind? I've decided I no longer want to be a woman. I want to transition back to being a man. I think there's a lot of stuff you got to go through to get that going. With smoking, you could just quit. I quit smoking. Now I'm taking the nicotine patch. You can't go to the doctor. Well, I did cut off my penis and all this other stuff. What can you do for me? The doctor's going to look at you confused we don't know. I'm just saying, transitioning genders, that's a long, hard comeback. But quitting smoking, it's as simple as a patch. All I'm saying is, if a kid isn't old enough to smoke, they're not old enough to vote, they're not old enough to drive, they're not old enough to drink, maybe they're not old enough to understand the logistics of transitioning from one gender to another. Call me crazy. But then again, this would be considered bigoted when it's just a genuine question. It's no, the kid doesn't understand the complexities of voting. My God, he might vote for a Republican. But then you turn around and go, but little Jimmy can become Jane. That's fine. They understand this.
He's a monster.
If you say that kids are too young to know whether or not they are trans, then that means that kids are too young to know whether or not they are cis. It's two sides of the same coin, baby. We can't trust any kids to make any decisions.
A boy or a girl?
No, I think it's a little early to start imposing roles on it, don't you?
Basically, this person is now saying the kids are too young to be cisgendered. It's literally what they were born as. So at this point, we're now saying that we're smarter than nature. This person's smarter than nature. And I guarantee if you took them and dropped them in the jungle, they wouldn't survive. I'd survive a little longer, but not that much longer. But boy, Big, I'd at least be smart enough to go, oh, that frog with the really crazy colors, don't eat him, boy. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't trust this person to make my goddamn sandwich at Wendy's. I mean, the nose rings, number one. They are not working for this person. And they get up every day and go, yes, I'm cute like this. This is cute for me. This is an adult dressing like an annoying teenage boy. And I'm pretty sure this is a woman that transitioned to a man and they decided the most masculine thing to do was to look like an extra from Home Alone 2. I don't know. To become a man, you must look like Macaulay Culkin in his prime. Stu, edit that out. Dude, TikTok was a mistake. TikTok is terrible. TikTok deleted a video of me and Zell playing Apex. But people advocating for drugs to be used on children to block their puberty. That's cool, though. There's nothing wrong with that. You might sit there and say that some of the things I have just said were controversial, evil, or bad. When it's just an observation. This is observational humor. I'm pointing out the fallacies of some of these crazy thoughts. And to just solidify the nuttiness that is 2021 and these types of very progressive people. We now have experts who believe parents should ask their babies permission before changing dirty diapers. Sexual experts say. Hello and welcome. It's 2021 and people are insane. How do you ask a baby for permission to change its diaper? It doesn't talk. It's like me asking my cat permission to clean its litter box. Smokey can't give me should I clean your litter box, Smokey? He just purrs. Cat doesn't know what's going on. I go, Smokey, what do you think of Tuesdays? You like toast? And he'll go, meow. And I guess that's consent to put toast in his bowl.
How young are some of the children you talk to?
We work from children from 3 years old. We work with parents from birth.
From birth?
Yeah. Just about how to set up a culture of consent in their homes. So I'm going to change your nappy now. Is that okay? Of course, the baby's not going to respond, yes, Mum, that's awesome. I'd love to have my nappy changed. But if you leave a space and wait for body language and wait to make eye contact, then you're letting that child know that their response matters.
They're trying to kill Baby Buster.